Good evening, everyone, and welcome back once again for another race here at GAVRA Racing. I said race way too many times. I am Jukebox, and I'm already fumbling a little bit, but it's not about me. It's about these fantastic drivers and these glorious cars, the Megane Trophy. And I see everybody already in the chat. Natty G, Chef, Awesome Assassin, which is Tiger Assassin, if anybody doesn't know. How y'all doing? It's great to see y'all in the chat. And let me get this so I can see just a little bit better here. As you can tell, if you haven't figured it out yet, we are here at the Red Bull Ring. It is 4.31 kilometers or 2.68 miles long, 10 turns. The drivers have 10-minute practice, a short 10-minute qualifying, and last week they had a 45-minute race. This week they have a 60-minute race, and if you can't tell, the sun is slowly going down, and they also have a more accelerated time, so they will be racing late into the night for this one here. So it's going to be great, a lot of track temperature changes and everything else. Natty G, I'm doing fantastic. How are you doing today? Let's see how our drivers are doing for time so far. The few of them have already got in some times. We've got Jay up here. Sorry, not Jay, it's Javier. Looking at really little letters here. Javier is currently the fastest on the track with the 131. Crazy may not have done a good enough job of checking his car out after the last race. We know we were definitely looking for him to have a bottle of nitrous or something under the seat. Crazy believes he stuck a F1 motor in the car. But on a serious note, as you can tell right there watching him drive, Javier pushes the cars really hard. He is one of our resident aliens at GAVRA Racing. And let's see, Becerra has the second fastest lap time at the moment of a 1:33.7. Randalux has a 1:34.18. He's currently in third for practice, so some of these times will be pretty close. Some of the drivers are going to hold a lot back just to see what the other drivers have for the race tonight. GTS is currently in fourth with a 1:34. So everyone other than Javier so far is really stacking the grid up nicely. So once again, I anticipate a very tight field throughout the whole race and some great battles. Our Australian, Duke Martin, I'm sure he probably has about 4 pots of coffee in him at the moment. I believe I said last race how it's about 6 a.m. I believe for him on these races. He currently has a 1:37.04, not very far behind GTS. And of course he will improve a little bit. The drivers are still getting their tires warm. This track steady getting cooler, it's going to be more and more difficult to actually keep their tires warm. Lennon 073 is running the 8th fastest time at the moment with a 1:36.28. So like I said, grid's looking really good. Everybody's stacking right up on top of each other. Not much difference in times between them. Crazy in 9th. Hopefully I will not give him the commentator's curse tonight and he will actually get to hold out on his whole race. Currently a 1:37.62. Very nice time out of him. It's Julio is in 10th. He's one of our drivers. He had a great race last week and then suffered from a disconnection late in the race. Very unfortunate to see. Like I said, he was doing really good. He is running the 10th fastest lap, 1:38.91. So he's just right behind Crazy. As you can see, there's really not much separating most of these drivers. King Quinn, our host for the Megane Trophy series, is bringing up the bottom of the field right now. He is definitely still trying to get his tires warmed up with the 144. I know good and well he's got a lot more in him. So it'll be great to see what he's going to have out on track. And we have, once we get on over into the race, I do have King Quinn's camera loaded up for us to watch, along with Agulator. And we will also get a chance to see if Jukebox did things right and our instant replay cam is working. So we're going to be keeping a really extra eye out for some good passes and everything tonight. And we're going to make use, and we're going to test and see if I got things right, and see if our instant replay is working right. Yep, that's right, instant replays now. Hopefully, fingers crossed. I may have commentator cursed myself. Alright, so we're getting close to the end of practice. Once we get a little bit closer, I have Sig's points sheets loaded up, and we'll go over those. We have the results from last week and the total points. And you know, Sig does a great job on the sheets. They look fantastic, and I think it's just an absolute shame for me to not make more use of them in the stream. So that is exactly what I'm trying to do. Let's go up here too. Yeah, and like I said, King Quinn's put himself up into 6th place. Let's pop back down there real quick. Yeah, King Quinn put himself into 6th with the 133.6. So yeah, look at there. King Quinn did not leave me sitting here with my foot in my mouth. I actually made a pretty good call on that one. He improved it quite a bit by 9 seconds. Lennon's gone on into the pit. He may have decided that he's had enough of the practice. Yeah, we've got 131 for Javier. Faster's got a 132, a mid 132s, and then it's Julio makes up the bottom of the field with a 135. So about 2.5 seconds separating the entire grid. So yeah, it's going to be a great race, and we should see a lot of action out on track. And of course, these cars are meant for a little bit of door banging. Let's go up here to our crazy alien Javier up here. We really need to check his car for the F1 engine. Though Randalux is kind of giving him a run for his money there. He's not very much behind him, the 132.12. Alright, so since I'm a very slow reader and we're going over several points, let's go ahead and get Sig's standings up here. And there we go. The individual points, we have Javier in the lead with 30 points. Faster is in second with 24 points. Third is Agulator with 21 points. Fourth is Duke Martin with 18. Fifth is King Quinn. I'm sorry, Duke Martin is fourth with 18. Fifth is King Quinn with 15. Sixth is fellow commentator Cypher Knight, 77 with 12. Seventh is also fellow commentator Toby One Kenobi. He's covered the F1s with me. Great guy. And I have to say, team co-coms right there in the middle, sitting there together, makes me proud to cover them on these races. He's sitting there with 10 points. Randalux is in 8th with 9 points. In 9th is Lennon 073 with 8 points. 10th is GTS with 7 points. 11th is Becerra with 6. 12th is Julio, who unfortunately, like I said, was having a really good race and suffered from the disconnect about 3/4 of the way through the race. Crazy, 13th, also suffered a disconnect very early in the race, so that was very unfortunate for him. And let's see if I remember which button. Hey, I remembered which button it is. Alright, and for the last week's results was, of course, Javier pulled off the first. Faster with second, Aguilator with third, and that was our podium. And then pretty much right now it still sits exactly as the points did, with Duke Martin in fourth, King Queen in fifth, Cypher Knight is sixth, Toby is seventh, Randalux is eighth, Lennon is ninth, GTS is 10th, and Bacara is 11th. And hopefully it's Julio and Crazy will have some really good luck with their internet tonight and be able to stick it out and stay connected. And since I have that done, oh, yep, the drivers are, I timed it right, but the drivers are just now coming out of the pit. That's how close I timed it. That was pretty good on my part, I think. And yep, I thought so. Toby1 Kenobi was having issues with his internet. He messaged everyone in the Discord chat right before the race, or almost an hour before the race, letting everyone know he was having some internet issues. So it's very unfortunate that his internet didn't get to working, and he wasn't able to join us for tonight. I know he was looking very much forward to it. He's been really loving these cars. And let's pick a driver to go around the track with for the opening lap. Tell you what, I've been talking about how it's Julio was having a really good race last week, and I do love the classic orange and checkered flag livery on this car, so we're going to stick with him and watch him go around the track here for a minute while everybody gets warmed up, and I grab a swallow of water and catch up on the chat real quick. Alright, so the drivers are still getting warmed up. And once again, I really do love the classic yellow and checkered flag livery on the Renault Megane trophy car. It looks absolutely stunning on that car. And who is that? That is, I was fixing to say, I believe that is Javier right behind him in the Logitech. I also have to admit, I'm a big fan of that shade of blue. It's a nice light blue combined with the black. And actually, I'll tell you what, give me just a second to get this where I can actually see it, and we will take a ride around the track with Javier. And hopefully he won't mind too much if we squeeze into his cockpit with him. Hopefully he's got just enough room to accommodate all of us. And this will give us a great chance to see how Javier tackles this track. And yes, Javier already putting himself in first for qualifying with a 131.99. His tires, I'm gonna guess, are probably still quite cool, so definitely not up to temperature and the optimum grip level. Javier displaying excellent throttle and brake control over his car. Yep, on the brake and just a little on the gas too, all at the same time, keeping the car very nicely balanced. It's a very tricky turn right there on this track. You can push really hard through it, but you have to make sure you do it right, or you will definitely go really wide and get lost over in the sand pit. And that is definitely one sand pit in Project Cars 2 that they got right. You get over in it and it really bogs your car down. Yeah, Javier is making the most of every inch of this track. There's not a curb he's not hitting. He's leaving just the right amount of tire on the actual asphalt. Right there, two right-hand tires still right on the curb as he made the most out of every inch of the track there. Turn 1. After he gets through the hairpin up here, we'll hop back out of his car and let him actually have a little bit faster lap. He did manage to improve with us in the car with him, but only by a little bit. I do believe we are weighing his car down just a little bit. And I tell you what, since we still have 4 minutes in qualifying left, we'll go ahead and there we go. We'll get Aguilator's view on up there. And I don't mind admitting it, last week when I was doing a lot of switching between several different drivers' cockpit views and changing them around, it got very difficult to keep up with towards the end of the race on who I had in what screen and whose feed I actually had loaded up. So this week we will just have the feeds down on the bottom and I'll swap them out. We have Aguilators right there, and we also have King Quinn's, and we'll just do these this way. And let's go back up here to we'll go back to Aguilator's camera. And I have other plans for that top right hand corner, and hopefully we'll see if I get this right in just a minute. Let's have a look at how Aguilator comes through that turn. That was very nice. You know what? I believe I want to see that again. And we'll have to see if I actually did this right and it loads up right. And there we go. Yep, my instant replay camera is working. Let's have one more quick look at how Javier comes through that turn. There he comes down the back straight. Yep, touches the inside curb all the way, just touches the outside curb. Very gentle on the throttle and the exit. It's an absolute beautiful corner and a great demonstration of my instant replay cam. Hopefully we will be able to keep this thing working. And I just saw some of y'all in the chat. Give me 1 second and get rid of that still screen up there for y'all. And I went too far back. There we go. Get Aguilator's camera back up there, and I'll catch up with y'all in the chat real quick. They are down to the last 1 minute 45 seconds of qualifying. Oh, Chef is in the chat making jokes on himself. He says, "Go Aguilator. There's no Chef here that could hit you." Chef, I do have to say it has always been a pleasure to cover you in all the races that you do. You've been doing a fantastic job in the Ferrari 33 SP, which everyone needs to make sure you check out on Thursday. And speaking of that, I've just realized that I didn't put the link to the video up on our Discord channel. Yeah, and real quick, everybody, make sure you go to the website, gavraracing.altavista.org. There is so much information on there. Gavra has been steady adding to it. So lots of great information on past seasons, and the announcements for the new season will be up there soon. And so we are going to have... So far, we're going to have, it looks like Javier is setting the fastest lap. Aguilator is sitting in second. Vaquera's third. Randalux is fourth. GTS is fifth. Crazy is sixth. Oh, King Quinn just improved, put himself in seventh. It's Julio in eighth. Faster, who we know will improve a lot. He always earns his name, in ninth. Fellow commentator Cypher Knight in 10th. 11th is Lennon. And Duke Martin, our Australian, makes up the bottom. He probably needs to get him a refill of coffee. That's why he is sitting in the pit just a little bit early. So I'll tell you what, let's go with Aguilator here, since we have his camera up on the bottom. So we have now his trackside and his cockpit view. And I must say this, I believe this looks really nice on screen. Let me know if y'all agree. Qualifying is just about over. I believe we'll get to see Aguilator finish this lap. Yep, and that is qualifying over. Alright, so there's my buttons. Javier is going to start in first. Aguilator's in second. Third will, of course, be Vaquera. That makes up the top three runners for this race. Randalux fourth. GTS fifth. Faster sixth. Crazy seventh. King Quinn is eighth. It's Julio ninth. Cypher Knight in 10th. Lennon is 11th. Duke Martin in 12th. And that makes up our grid. Oh, and it does look like somehow King Quinn got a one grid place penalty there. But I believe it has already applied it, so it took him basically out of the 7th and moved him into 8th. But I still believe he will have a really good start. And we now have a few minutes. So I will get back to my shameless advertisement. No, it's not Spanish. WTCR. Sorry, everybody. Talking to Chef in the chat. We are kind of holding here for just a moment. That could be quite interesting. I have to admit, I'm usually not too used to us holding this long on this screen. It may actually, they may have the lobby set to where they have to hit a button to progress at this point. But anyway, while we're sitting here and waiting, go to the website again. Let me finish my shameless ad. Once again, the address in the top left-hand corner as well as in the description below. And speaking of everything down below, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button. That way you get your notifications every time we do go live. Alright, I believe we are trying to sync in here. I'll tell you what, we're going to switch over to King Quinn's camera because he is a little bit farther down the pack, and that'll help us keep an eye on the back of the pack. And of course, I'm going to grab the start of this race on our brand new GAVRA Racing Instant Replay. I'm going to keep rubbing that one in because I think I'm going to love it. Oh, Natty G, it should be a really good race. Oh, Yep, sorry y'all, it looks like I'm advertising King Quinn's pit strategy there, so let me get this camera back off of him. We'll go back to Agulator. There we go. Agulator's just on a regular screen, so that'll work. But yeah, go to the website, check out everything in the description below. There's lots of information on both, as well as links to the Discord channel, and a link to the Patreon if you wish to help support us. We are community driven. It looks like our timer is going off. So let's real quick get that back up there. We'll go to King Quinn's car again real quick. And hopefully any second now, the game will give me the lights. And y'all have no idea how awkward I feel at this moment. Yep, we finally got the sinking in. And they are off. Let's move the camera down just a little bit there. Everyone so far looking fantastic through turn one. Oh, we've got a few drivers went a little bit wide there. Oh, we did have someone make a small collision in the back. So far, everyone... Excuse me, y'all. Yep, voice cracked really bad there for a second. Everyone's doing a really good job here. Like I said, we had a few people go a little wide through turn one, but this is Red Bull Ring. I believe we can always expect a few drivers to go a little wide. Javier is holding on to his first position. He's got Randalux right behind him, followed by Becerra, Crazy, Faster in 5th. It's Julio in 6th. Agulator is holding on to 7th. Cypher Knight is fighting for 8th. He's got a lot of pressure on him from front and back. Duke Martin is in 10th. 11th is Lennon. Ooh, it looks like King Quinn has fallen down to the back of the pack. He may have been the one driver that we saw got a little too wide. It looked like he may have had a little trouble getting some grip on that sand and getting his car back to the track and actually hit one of the side barriers. Hopefully he did not pick up much damage. Let's go right back behind here. We've got Becerra closing in on Faster. Oh, it's Julio has made it past Faster. Or I'm sorry, it's Julio's made it past Agulator. And is now getting ready to try to put the pressure on Faster. Faster's really right on top of Crazy in the moment. Crazy doing a great job. Managed to get himself up into 3rd position. I don't know what happened in the background there. All I saw was a car going just out of nowhere, just a left turn right into the wall. I'm not sure what driver that was, but that was very unfortunate. I really didn't get a good chance to see what happened. But in the case that any driver feels that it was due to someone else, here in GAVRA Racing we have a team of stewards that do look into it and hand down GAVRA license level penalties, which can range from a practice ban to a practice and qualifying ban, and you have to really, really mess up really bad, but you can have an actual race ban where you cannot race in one of the races. But like I said, you've got to really mess up. Usually nobody ever makes it past a qualifying ban. Faster still right there on top of Crazy. I also really want to go and check in on the backside of the back of the grid, but Faster really putting the pressure on Crazy, trying to go for the inside move down in the last turn. Oh, he was just happy. He was in the right spot. Crazy had to get on his brakes a little bit early to allow room for Faster, allowing Faster to get the move done. But now we can see Crazy is right there on top of Faster. He is still in a slipstream. He's got a great chance of still catching up to him. And while he tries to catch up real quick, I am going to go down here to the back of the field. Of course, Crazy also has GTS closing in on him, so he cannot... If he makes a mistake, it is definitely going to cost him a position. we've got to check in on Aguilator, Duke Martin, it's Julio, Lennon not far behind them. Aguilator's really on top of King Quinn at the moment. We've got a great mid to backfield battle right here with, I believe, about 6 cars at the moment. Oh, side by side through the kink. Fantastic driving. I believe that was Cypher Knight doing a great job sticking to the inside. He allowed just the right amount of room on the outside for the car that was trying to get around him. Oh, and now it's, I believe that is King Quinn that managed to get down the inside of Aguilator. Oh, wait a minute. I apologize. It's Julio that Aguilator managed to get by right there. Cypher Knight has managed to get himself out in front of everyone just a little bit. He's not much above the 1 second mark though, so he is still under massive pressure from, nope, King Quinn is now closed in that 1 second gap. So Cypher Knight again under massive pressure from King Quinn. King Quinn really wants that position. Aguilator right behind him. I don't know, given the driver that King Quinn has behind him, I've covered Aguilator several times. He is extremely talented, and there is a very good possibility he could go for the move on King Quinn anytime. And Black Country Mush, how are you doing, man? It is great to see you in the chat. You always do a great job of showing up and keeping me company during the races, and thank you so much for doing that, man. And it was I had a lot of fun covering you in the last couple F1 races. You did an amazing job out on track. Oh, and who is it? Is this Cypher Knight taking all the pressure at the moment? And I believe that was... who was that? Was that King Quinn? King Quinn down the inside of Cypher Knight. Cypher Knight's trying to still fend him off and stick to the inside to get that position back. Cypher Knight has Aguilator right there on top of him. And of course we do have King Quinn's camera down on the bottom right, but I tell you what, we've got Aguilator loaded up too. He's in the back of the field. Let's get a look at this battle from Aguilator's viewpoint. There we go. I did finally manage to find the right camera. So there we go. We get a little bit of a view from the backside there. Looked like Aguilator just barely did manage to catch his car right there. Again, the track is steady getting cooler, and with the accelerated time, it is going to cool off very, very quickly. Oh, as we did have a spinner. Turn 1 is notorious for getting spun round. Oh, I've got to check. Oh, no, that was... was that... oh, no, that was Aguilator. Okay, everyone, there was no way around that. That was definitely a commentator's curse. We were watching him battle. We were also in his cockpit, so we're going to... let's leave him a little bit and climb into King Quinn's cockpit. King Quinn is trying to get the 4-second gap closed in on Crazy, but he is receiving massive pressure from It's Julio, who I must say is missing his rear bumper, his front fin, and one headlight, and he is running 135s around this track, so that is extremely impressive. Harry Buddha, how you doing tonight, man? It is also great to see you in the chat. And if y'all see anything that y'all think would make a good instant replay... oh no! Oh no, it's Julio really just got too far on the grass there, and without that his front aero package, it's missing, and without that rear bumper, he would just... the aerodynamics on his car really got unsettled there when he touched a little too much curb and grass, and it really just spun him right around. Well, Black Country Mush, even if I am in a absolute shit mood, it is my job to get on here and put on the face and sound extremely enthusiastic for y'all, because let's be real about it. Nobody wants to listen to an all-depressive, mopey commentator. Not even me. And I'm the commentator. I don't like listening to myself. Alright, so as I was saying, we do have an instant replay going on. I can capture a 30-second instant replay at any moment. So if I miss a quick pass or a good move on track, y'all say something in the chat and I'll pull that up and we'll have a good look at it. And yeah, I mean, not that I'm just really looking for an excuse to show off the instant replay or anything. Just, you know, just saying. Pete also in the chat. Yeah, I know Natty G. Toby of One Kenobi will tell you that I'm not great at subtle hints. You know, if it's not done with the sledgehammer, I just don't quite understand it. Alright, these two drivers getting a little spaced out. Duke Martin's trying to stay caught up with Cypher. Now, yep, there he is, right back in. He's in and out of that 1 second range. Let's check in on Agulator. Agulator's trying to make a nice recovery. He's managed to catch up to Becerra. Becerra is a really good driver. He went through the Academy with me, along with the Clio Cup. So I do know firsthand Becerra is a really good driver. Duke Martin also the Academy and Clio Cup with me, along with King Quinn and Randalux. So again, I believe I said it last week. I'm actually really happy to see some of these drivers that I'm familiar with out here on track, and because like I said, we all joined GAVRA Racing at about the same time, so it's really good to see them in here racing. And we can tell from Becerra's car, these cars are meant to take a little bit of door banging. Let's get back up here to Crazy and GTS. I could not talk Joe into signing up, Chef. I will try again if you will also try with me to get him to sign up. I believe he would. These aren't exactly his taste in cars, but I believe he could possibly have a good time racing in this series. And I actually think he would do quite well also. I can use the replay in the F1s, and so hopefully next season we'll get that all sorted out. Oh, and now, we talked about him. He's shown up, everyone. We have the man, the legend, Joe Black in the chat. So everybody, if you're in the chat, make sure you say hey to Joe. Joe is one of my favorite people in GAVRA Racing. It really wouldn't be the same without him. And he's in the chat asking, which Joe? He knows we're talking about him. Oh, which just reminded me, though, I did have the drivers coming off of the line for the start. So while we watch Crazy try to catch up with GTS, I believe Duke Martin is still just outside of range of Cypher Knight. So let's try again to see if I got this right. Yes, and there we go. There is our instant replay from the start of the race. So we should have the first 30 seconds of that to real quick look back over. And like I said, turn one did get a little bit tricky. We had a couple of drivers go really wide, but all in all, I believe for the most part, everyone came through very cleanly. Yep, again, oh yeah, except for I believe we had decided that may have been King Quinn that had a little trouble getting his car back together and hit the barrier on the outside. there we go. Let's get that instant replay cam back off of there. We don't want it just sitting there taking up a lot of space. So like I said, I moved the cameras, the cockpit cameras down a little bit. I think I'm going to keep them more in the bottom because I really wanted to open up that top right hand corner for our instant replay. And we also have Thunder 5050 in the chat. It's good to see you, man. How you doing tonight? Joe, I'm not sure I understand you though. He says no way can I drive a French car. Oh, he's saying he can't drive the little French cars. Hey, Joe, I have to admit, I struggled a little bit with the Meganes also. I got out there and tried them out, and they can be a little light on the ass end and be a little tricky going through some of the turns. Let's see, where will we go here? Let's check out Faster real quick. Faster's closing in on Randalux in second. We'll get to see a really good battle there shortly. Let's check in on Duke Martin. Duke Martin's right there on top of Cypher Knight. Let's stick with him and see if he manages to get the move done. Oh, yep, and Duke did manage to get that done. And because I'm trying to show off my instant replay cam, let's see if I got it right again, and we'll have one more look at Duke Martin getting on by Cypher Knight here. Yep, there we go. We've got him coming down the straight. Cypher Knight's guarding the inside, which inevitably turned to the outside, which allowed King Duke Martin to come right on around him. That was a very nice move indeed. Let's get that back off the screen so I can actually concentrate at the task at hand, which is Cypher Knight really trying to close back up on Duke Martin. Okay, I see what it is. Joe doesn't want to join the Meganes because he wants to make sure he can, let's just say Joe is bound and determined to kick a little bit more ass in the GT Sport Championship. Which I did notice, Joe, that you signed back up and you were racing again last week, and unfortunately I didn't catch it to the end. If I had known you would sign back up, I would have been in the chat cheering for you. Which, I mean, that could be a good thing or a bad thing. I guess you really never know. Apparently, commentator's curse does go round. Alright, Faster's managed to get the move on Randalux. Oh yeah, these two battling out quite nicely here. Oh, Faster did manage to get a little bit of a run there. So, once again, we're going to change this camera over to Agulator as well. Let's have us a look at that pass there between Randalux and Faster. If I pulled the right replay clip up. Of course, they're still going side by side. Oh, a little bit of a tap there. These two still really battling very hard. Faster not wanting to give up that second place position. Randalux really wanting that second place position. But once again, Faster getting a little bit of space. Faster keeps getting a little bit of space from him, and then Randalux catches right up to him. we go. There, we got a little side-by-side action there. Yep, just a little bit of a bump on the ass end. Not too bad though. It looks like the drivers maintained a high level of respect for each other through there, so it's great to see. And let's see, we should see also them coming down into this turn. Yep, and yeah, there we go. Oh, you never know, Joe. Still, these two drivers right here, Faster and Randallux, refusing to let each other go. These two are going to stay at it for quite a while now. We are 20 minutes into the race. They have 40 minutes left of the 1 hour race. The sun is definitely down. Track is still cooling off very quickly. Pay absolutely no mind to the track temperatures in the top right-hand corner. I will say that you can't trust those temperatures, but I'm also going to say that no, I did not get those wrong, but they're also not right. I mean, let's face it, I dropped the ball. There's always one little part where I drop the ball during the broadcast, so replay camera seems to be working pretty good, so of course it had to be the track and ambient temperatures that I messed up tonight. No, not really any crashes, Natty. We had a few drivers have a little bit of trouble with the track cooling off or getting just a little bit too much on the grass, but not really any instances. We just got through watching a replay of Faster and Randallux, and they had just a little tap, little front bumper to back bumper tap going through one of the turns, but it didn't knock either driver off a course. And there was no position change, so I think from the commentator's perspective, I call that proper rubbing during racing, and it doesn't look like either one of the drivers felt otherwise out on track. It looks like all the drivers maintained respect for each other during it. Like I said, it was just a nice little, it was just a little kiss. Is King Quinn. King Quinn's now 5 seconds from Crazy. Aguilator's roughly about the same from Cypher Knight. Drivers are getting a little spaced out, not too bad. While Randallux tries to finish closing this gap on up to Faster, and I have Aguilator's cockpit camera up, let's jump down here to Aguilator and we'll try again. Everyone keep their fingers crossed that I do not curse Aguilator this time, as we have a look at him from the trackside view and also his cockpit cam in the lower right hand corner. I believe here in just a minute we will also do the same with King Quinn. Now, I do not expect any of the drivers to need to pit for tires or fuel. But, you know, as I said earlier, I'm not all that familiar with this car, so they very well could chew through tires throughout the night during this race and actually need to take a second set of tires, but I do think the tires should hold up, especially with the track being cool. They should actually last a lot longer. Alright, I think let's go up here to King Quinn, and we will switch over to King Quinn's camera. watch him tackle this track for just a minute here, and I'm gonna get a better rundown on the gaps of the drivers and see exactly just how close some of them are, and grab a quick swallow of water. And I believe I may throw the map up here on the screen for y'all to see too, though I don't think anyone is in danger of getting lapped anytime soon. Get us a view of this battle right here between Agulator and Cypher Knight. We've got Agulator's cockpit camera up and the trackside on actually I've got it on Agulator. Let's put it on Cypher Knight so we can make sure we keep a good eye on his car. These two really starting to go at it. Agulator has really put his right foot down to be able to catch up with Cypher Knight at this point. But as we can see, Cypher Knight's last lap was a 1:36, which is about on par with what most of the drivers are running, and Agulator managed to pull out a 1:33, so definitely a couple of seconds faster on that last lap. And this is about the time in the race where fatigue is going to start setting in just a little bit on the drivers, especially once the field gets spread out just a little bit. And I have my finger on the instant replay button. Oh, as Agulator's trying to go down through the inside. If he can manage to outbrake him, he does. Cypher Knight doing a great job of really just trying to play it safe right there. That did have the potential to turn out very badly. They still are right on top of each other though. So as they are still battling, let's get the replay of that pass back up here. There they are. Yep, and we see Agulator getting a really good run there, keeping in Cypher Knight's slipstream, and once they get down the straight, he was able to just pull right out up next to him. Did a fantastic job of outbraking Cypher Knight through the turn, and that was a fantastic pass, I must say. Cypher Knight still really close to Agulator though. I believe this battle is definitely not over. Oh, Cadwell as well. How you doing, Cadwell, man? It is great to see you in the chat. And I need to remember, actually, after, as soon as this race is over, I need to message you on the Discord so that we can make sure that you can get in for your race on Wednesday. Y'all make sure y'all check that out, because not only do we have the Megane series running right now, the Ginetta Evolution is not over, and the Ferrari 33 SP is also not over. But definitely make sure you tune in Wednesday for Cadwell 5 and Didex. They do a great job. The Ginetta has proven to have some really great close racing. They started in the GT4, I believe. They went to the they started in the GT5, then went to the GT4. The last leg of the season, they went to the GT3. We're starting up the actual last 4 races of the season, the last leg, and they will be in the Ginetta, I believe it is the LMP3 cars, and the administrators set up a great set of tracks for the drivers to take those cars around on. So definitely make sure y'all check them out. It's Cadwell 5 and Didix. They do a great job, and they have been with us now. Didix was here long before me, and Cadwell was here before me, and then had to take a break for a little while, and then rejoined shortly after I joined GAVRA Racing, and has been here ever since. So he's been doing, I believe, Wednesdays for about the last 2 to 3 seasons, so close to about the last year and a half. I have no idea so far, Natty G. It's been a really good race. All the drivers are pushing really hard. Hopefully they'll close. Well, I know they will. They'll close back up right at the end of the race, and we'll get to see some great battles towards the end. Pete, well then see, you have to finish watching it now, and then once it posts as an upload to the GAVRA YouTube channel, which, by the way, y'all make sure you hit the subscribe and the bell, so that you get all the notifications when we go live or upload videos of races, along with other things. There's a podcast going on as well. And also make sure this week that you check out the F1 Gold Crown Series. That's going to be really good. I believe that is going to be a new commentator, Shaggy, combined with Tiger Assassin, so y'all check that out. It is basically the end of the season runoff between all of the F1 leagues. It's the best drivers pulled in together to all compete against each other, so it's going to be fantastic. And also there is the GAVRA Racing Weekend F1 League. I believe that starts this weekend as well, so make sure y'all check that out. Not positive who the commentators are for that, but I will find out and let y'all know when y'all tune in Thursday for the Ferrari 33 SP. You know, I have to give y'all some kind of reason to tune back in and get tortured by my voice. Pastor still doing a great job in seconds, managing to hold Brand Lux off. He's now has himself up to almost a 7-second gap there. So that's absolutely fantastic. He's really been putting his right foot down and gaining some ground. He is still, though, 18 seconds behind this man right here, our alien, in the Megane trophy. Now, I believe Javier at this point could actually, I believe he is actually catching up to a back marker at this point. Let me see if I can get a good look at this livery. I believe that it was the yellow and black Vasario paint job. If we get just a little bit better look. Actually, I know an even better way to have a look. Yes, it is. It is Cyphernite that Javier is catching up. So that just shows you how much of an alien Javier is. Cyphernite's been putting down some really good, consistent lap times, and Javier is just in his little UFO flying around the track. But yeah, Pete, you'll just have to watch it back later on, man. It's been a pretty good race, I have to say. Cyphernite moving over, letting the leader of the race right on by. That was actually a great spot for Cyphernite to do it. It didn't look like it really cost him any time to let the leader on by. And as we can see, Cyphernite is trying to catch up to Agulator. I'm not sure how much of a time penalty Agulator has, but Agulator does have a little bit of a time penalty, though I imagine it's not very much at this point. He's only 3 seconds behind this man right here, Duke Martin. Duke Martin's having himself a really good race. He's trying to close the gap on King Quinn. King Quinn is only about 2.5 to 3 seconds now in front of Duke Martin. So he's kind of, like I said, this is still the area in the race where the drivers have got a little spaced out. Fatigue sets in a little bit. It's really easy to fall off your peak concentration level. because you're kind of in that little bit of a lull on the track by yourself, just a little bit there. And it's very easy to get complacent with your lap times, and the next thing you know, your lap times are really high. But like I said, King Quinn he's trying to catch up to Crazy. Yeah, right at 3 seconds to him. And just a note for everyone, when you are on your PC streaming from a PlayStation, your mouse for your PC will not control the screen for your PlayStation. I have been sitting here clicking away trying to change the camera, but it doesn't work. I have to use my PS4 controller. And yeah, everybody definitely, we're just over halfway through the race, so if y'all want to start checking out and deciding who y'all want to vote for driver of the day towards the end of the race, I guess we'll have that vote somewhere within about the last 5 to 10 minutes of the race, just to make sure that I have enough time to get the podium and the driver of the day in place with all the drivers' names. So we're going to take the camera off of King Quinn. Let's find someone who is pretty close here. King Quinn still is really close to Crazy. He's got that gap coming down. Agulator still right there within about the 3 second mark. Let's pop King Quinn's camera back up here for a moment, and we will, while I grab a quick swallow of water and catch up on the chat, we will take a lap around here with King Quinn, with both views going on here. And yep, Joe Black in the chat saying he was the original Agulator fan club. Apparently, Agulator was Joe Black's first teammate here at GAVRA Racing, and Joe takes credit for teaching Agulator everything he knows. It looks like you did a pretty good job there, Joe Black. Agulator has turned into quite the driver. Though I was a really bad teammate for you last season in the GT3s, though I did actually learn a lot from you, whether you realize it or not. But one thing I do know from your teachings is this red mark on top of Agulator's name showing he has a time penalty is definitely not something you taught him. Oh yeah, there we, oh, nope, wait a minute, as I was talking, Agulator's managed to close the gap on Duke Martin. So since he's right there, we've got this battle. We are going to change back over to Agulator's camera. Oh, Agulator doing a fantastic job of holding on to his car there. If you were watching his cockpit cam down on the bottom right, you saw the rear end try to step out on him just a little bit. Great work of the steering wheel there. Managed to get it back up under control and keep right on going. And I don't think it really cost him any time either, because I believe he is now actually closer to Duke Martin. This far into the race, the car's very cold. Tires are being very difficult to keep heat in. And when you try to push a little bit extra, like we can tell Agulator's trying to do, it can be very dangerous to do. I mean, of course, we're all racers, so we know that you have to push a little bit in these situations or you're never going to catch the guy in front of you. But just, yeah, it is quite dangerous to do so. So again, yeah, Agulator doing a fantastic job of running down Duke Martin here. I believe we could see him in a good position to make a pass before too much longer. Oh, as we now have a nice little four-way battle here between King Quinn, Crazy, Duke Martin, and Agulator. All four of these drivers now caught up with each other. That is 5th through 9th. King Quinn is really the man under pressure at the moment. Let's check in on him, see how he's handling it. Oh yeah, he has 3 cars right there on top of him, just lined up. If he makes a tiny mistake here, Crazy is going to go right by him, and depending on how that goes, the rest of the field could either follow or get a move done on Crazy. It's really hard to tell in these situations. Still right on top of King Quinn. And in the bottom right hand corner we still have Agulator's cockpit cam, and he is still right there on top of Duke Martin, as we can tell. He doesn't need to get too much closer to be able to get that move done, as right up here we've got King Quinn managed to get around the inside, I believe, of Crazy there. Oh, and we have all these drivers right back on top of each other. Crazy now in the lead in 5th, followed by King Quinn 6th. Agulator made it by Duke Martin into 7th. Since King Quinn is right here behind Crazy, Agulator's moved up just a little bit. Let's pop back our cameras again to King Quinn's cockpit cam. 19 minutes left out of the 60-minute race. Oh, Joe says the Agulator didn't help him at all. You think he would have traded a little bit of the speed that he has off for all your fantastic defensive maneuvers. The combination would have been absolutely lethal out on track, Joe. King Quinn still right there on top of Crazy. King Quinn under massive pressure from Agulator. Agulator receiving pressure from Duke Martin. This is a great four-way battle we have right here in the middle of the pack so late in the race. And for a minute there, I thought I had muted my mic. And I have no idea how long I've been sitting here with my mic on mute. But regardless, nope, that was definitely a message that I had to check. Alright, yeah, everybody, last 6 minutes of the race, so y'all please go ahead and start putting in your vote for driver of the day. I am actually eyeing Crazy myself. He's been up in the middle of the pack, really battling it out throughout the whole race. And doing a fantastic job, so I believe my vote is going to go for Crazy this week. But as always, you the viewers, always, y'all votes, like one vote from y'all is like 10 votes for me, so y'all outdo my votes big time. Now, every once in a while, I may fall asleep or doze off for just a second there, Chef. But, yeah, apparently, I guess I did actually have my mic muted for just a minute there. Yeah, I muted it so I could grab a quick swallow of water, and, I guess I forgot to unmute it. It is one of the times where a co-commentator comes in handy, because they can say, hey, dummy. Oh, and one thing I did not expect, everyone, as the sun has came up very, very quickly, which is going to start raising the temperature track on their tires, and I promise you, all the drivers are getting close to the end of the life on their tires at the moment. So this, again, is also going to throw a little bit of monkey wrench into the end of the race, and we'll have to see how this is gonna play out. Still have Agulator's camera. Well, nope, sorry y'all, I have it labeled. So we know that's Agulator's camera down in the bottom right hand side. Agulator's trying to keep Duke Martin fended off and hold on to a 6th place position. 4.5 minutes left. No, Pete, that's what I totally did. I totally had to go for a quick bathroom break. I did not mute my mic and like a dummy forget to unmic it, because we know I don't do that kind of stuff. Chef has made a very good point. He is voting for Agulator because Agulator started off pretty good, then he had a little bit of trouble, and he has battled himself back into 6th place and is still right here trying to keep Duke Martin fended off at the moment, and he is right there on top of King Quinn. We could still see him manage to find himself into 5th place. Alright, Pete also is voting for Agulator, so that is 2 votes for Agulator so far. And yeah, once again, like I said a minute ago, y'all's vote always overrides mine, even if it's just a 1 vote from me and 1 vote from you, everyone in the chat. I like to let y'all name who's y'all's driver of the day is. I'll tell you what, I am going to start getting a little quiet here, last 3 minutes of the race, because I need to start setting up the podium. But I'm going to try to keep up with this here, because this is going to be a great battle right here all the way to the end between King Quinn, Agulator, and Duke Martin. And these 3 drivers have been really killing it. And like I said, Crazy was right there in the mix the whole time too, until right here at the very end. For a second there, I thought Agulator was fixing to get by King Quinn, but still not quite able to do it. How these 2 drivers are managing to keep Duke Martin held off is just incredible, because they're battling each other really hard, but at the same time managing to keep that. Oh no, he did spin it around right there, just a little too hard coming out of that turn. That turn is absolutely notorious for that. Oh, that was very unfortunate to see King Quinn spin it around like that. Agulator did give him a nice little bump. It's tore up his front aero package. This could be all that Duke Martin needs to get himself into 5th place. I mean, he's going to have to take a lot of risk and push his car well beyond the tire limits here to get caught up with Agulator and get the move done. It's a very risky move to try to do right here in the last minute or two of the race, but it can be done. Actually going to jump back here real. Oh, sorry, that was there we go. Replay cam was not supposed to be coming up there. I believe so, Pete. I believe he that right there definitely hurt his front aero right there. He's doing a great job of managing to keep Duke Martin fended off though. And since we will not have any more replays going on, let's go up here real quick. Let's check to see where our leader Javier is. Not quite to get around to the front. I want to make sure I catch him coming across the line. He is our winner. Oh, Duke Martin must have made just a tiny mistake and fell just outside of the 1 second mark of Agulator. Now he's got himself back in it. Let's get back up here to Javier. Yep, and there we are, Javier across the line. Fantastic win from Javier. Alright, Faster still not quite across the line. Let's get back here to Duke and Agulator again. These two still, they're going to fight it out all the way to the finish. And I must admit, I still get a little confused at the end of some of these timed races. So I'm not sure if these drivers will still get the opportunity to fight it out for one more round. Nope, I believe that may have... Nope, that was pretty much it, I believe. Yeah, that was the end of the race. So, oh, there we are. Look at Javier giving us some fantastic donuts, putting on the show. And there is our 2nd place winner, Faster. Randalux is going to take it nice and easy for his cool down lap. He's got GTS right there behind him. It is possible these two could still actually be fighting for position here. Like I said, I get very confused on the end of some of these timed races. I do believe they have enough time to get back and make it across the line before the finish. But if no, I believe the race is over. We will see it here in just a second there. Oh no, it looks like the race was not quite over, and it put GTS in 3rd. So yeah, that was... Where's my clicker? Get up there, clicker. There we are. Javier in 1st. Faster in 2nd. GTS pulled off the 3rd. I'm not sure what exactly happened there with him and Randalux. Randalux may have been a little confused and thought the race was over. Agulator pulled out 5th. Duke Martin 6th. King Quinn 7th. Cypher Knight 8th. Craze 9th. And Becerra 10th. And Lennon is 11th, and that was our finish. And let's just get switched on over here. Alright, so everyone, that was an absolutely fantastic race. I did not expect to see the sun come up on the drivers. That definitely had to make it a little bit more difficult for them right there at the end, I'm sure. With the track warming back up we know they had really wore out tires, so it had to make it very difficult on them. And I have to say, the entire midfield was incredible tonight. Those were some great battles. All the drivers did a fantastic job. And yeah, as the podium sits, Javier again in first. Faster also won last week in second, pulled off second again this week. He always earns his name, Faster. GTS, very surprising right there at the end with the third. And everyone watching in the chat, thank y'all so much for voting for Driver of the Day, which y'all voted for Agulator, which I agree. He had an absolutely amazing race. And of course, the part of the whole point of the Driver of the Day is to give the other drivers that have put in a lot of work a little bit of recognition for what they have done and achieved by running the race and finishing it. And yep, thank you so much, Pete. I really appreciate it. And I guess everyone, last quick GAVRA Racing shameless advertisement before I switch us over to the total standings, which again, Sig makes fantastic standings, and I really want to start using them more and more in the stream because he puts a lot of work into them and they look great. And it is a lot to keep up with. So, quick shameless GAVRA Racing advertisement. Like I said earlier, GAVRA Racing has iRacing coming very, very soon. So if you're interested, join the Discord and just say that you're interested. The administrators over the iRacing League coming up soon will be all over it. They will get immediately with you. It won't take them long at all, I promise. They've got from what little I have peeked, they have an absolutely fantastic lineup of tracks and cars set for it. So yeah, y'all definitely be on the lookout for it. I think it's going to be a great step forward for GAVRA Racing community. And of course, though, we're still going to also still have our Project Cars 2 leagues, along with the ever so growing F1 leagues. And but yeah, all the links are in the description below. Link to the website, link to the Discord. Please make sure you hit the like, or if you really want, you can hit the dislike. You know, it's okay. If you didn't like it, you can hit it. You know, but we want you to like it, and make sure if you haven't subscribed, we are so close to the 1,000 subscriber mark. I still really want to meet that goal before the end of the season. We have this week plus 3 more, so still 4 weeks to meet that mark. So everybody, please pitch in, help us out to get to that 1,000 subscriber mark. That is the first major landmark on YouTube, is getting that first 1,000 subscribers. We've got the show, we've got the drivers, we've got the administrators. All we need is just a few more subscribers. Hint, hint, wink, wink. You know, like I said, not good at that. But yeah, you know, check it all out. It's great racing, and thank you so much, everyone, for watching. I am Jukebox. I was your commentator. And lastly, thank you for watching. Huge thanks to the GAVRA administrators and all of the drivers that donate their time as well and pitch in to host the races. And the biggest thanks of all goes out to Gavra Novak himself for making all this happen, creating the community, and bringing all of us together and giving all of us something all that we are very passionate about doing. And so everyone, yeah, check it all out. Again, hit the buttons and check us out Wednesday. Again, the Janetta Evolution LMP3 class. They're at the last leg. Be Cadwell and Didix. They do a great show. Please check them out and get on there and talk to them, support them on the stream. And yeah, in classic Jukebox form, I don't know how to close streams. I ramble on. So thanks for watching. Y'all have a great night.